it's really crazy when you think about the complexity when you're managing brands, so many products across so many geographies. There's an enormous amount of complexity, right? And so what this has done is it's made decision making so much more difficult and complex. Do you all feel this issue? A lot of you relate to this issue? Okay. Anybody been to San Francisco on a bus tour? You've been on that bus tour in San Francisco. Do you recall that they may stop at a particular store that has a lot of varieties of jams and jellies and breads and cheeses? Anybody remember that? So there's this store in San Francisco that in the tour, they stop at the store. It has all of this variety. And so what this store found is that they get a lot of foot traffic, but hardly anybody is buying anything. Okay. A lot of foot traffic, but hardly anybody is buying anything. So they called this researcher at Stanford and said, can you help us understand this issue? So what she did was she set up 2 tables. At one table, she had 24 jams. And at another table, she had 6. And she tried to see what the sales would be at each of these and try to understand why. Okay, and here's what happens. When you have few choices, okay, the good feelings you have are stronger than the bad feelings or the positive. You can see things more clearly and you feel much better about making a decision. So when you have few choices, you have clarity and you can make better decisions. When you have many choices, this is what happens. The good feelings sort of taper off, but the bad feelings much sharper. So the net effect is pretty bad. So for example, in the smartphone business, okay, there are 2 companies that make 108% of the industry profits, Apple and Samsung. Apple and Samsung get 108% of the industry profits. Everybody else is losing money. Everybody else is losing money in the smartphone business. Apple gets 92% of the industry profits. Okay, pretty obscene, but that's what they get. Okay? Focus on few products and models. It's not going to be 15, it's going to be 2, maybe 3, but focus on few. So for computers, it may be 4. For smartphones, they've decided it's going to be 2. That may become 3 one day, but only a few. That strategy is completely different from Samsung. So it's not about one is right or wrong, it's about what works for me. Have the courage to cannibalize. Has Apple cannibalized itself in certain product areas? Yeah. Absolutely. It's good.
Always launching new products that before the other ones are obsolete.
Yeah, the previous ones are all obsolete. They're always cannibalizing. They've cannibalized iPod, and every successive iPhone pretty much cannibalizes the previous one. So always cannibalize. Take end-to-end responsibility for the user experience. Okay? So don't Google, exact opposite with Android. They say, no, we're going to put it out there, let each company figure out what they want to do with it. But Apple says, no, we want to take control of the end-to-end user experience, and so on. Put products before profits, do not spread resources, and read things that are not yet on the page. Don't be a slave to focus groups, but really deeply understand the customer needs.